Although Denmark was the primary focus of this trip, I couldn't resist making a side excursion to Sweden as well. I even managed to find a railway museum that was easy to reach from Copenhagen, and without needing a car. To reach this museum, we'll be taking the Øresundstog, which runs every 20 minutes across the Øresund to Malmö, and then hourly to one of 3 cities in southern Sweden. The train to Gothenburg will bring us into Ängelholm in a bit under 2 hours. From there, after exploring downtown, it's an easy walk over to the museum, located in the old roundhouse across the tracks from the station. There was some construction work nearby that made getting there a bit harder. Adjacent to the museum is a major training center for railway workers, the Trafikverkskolen. This no doubt played a role in the museum's location.
As one might expect, all the text is in Swedish. Fortunately, there's a lot of QR codes around. You can scan those. Or, of course, if you have your smartphone, download Google Translate before you get here. Starts out with a whole bunch of signals. And a model of what the original shop looked like. Next, we move into a small exhibit about some of the alternate methods of transportation, primarily the waterways. And what appear to be sledges. Then we'll move into the early mining railways. We step out of the mines and we'll move into the early days of railroading, represented by this display of the Rainhill trials in England. But pretty soon, we'll be looking at Swedish railways as well.
Midway through the museum, we come to this large model railroad diorama, which will become important later. Nearby is a replica of a typical Swedish station. You can walk inside to learn more about how they were set up and the functions that they served.
Moving past. This appears to be an 044 tank engine, not a very common rail arrangement. Some photos about rollers. Technically I'm off the path here, but they have an example of a track cleaner for use in snowy weather. Judging by the description of these plows, this is what we in the US would be calling a flanger. It's about the same size too. After a short section about bridges and tunnels, the main path continues that way, but there's a piece about electrification this way. Also in this area, a piece about grade crossing signals. I have to wonder if they developed the crossflex around the same time as the US did. And if they developed it because we did or for other reasons. Moving right along, This next section is about a position that seems to translate to ranger, but that seems to match what the Americans call a section crew, responsible for maintaining and inspecting track. Their sections would be about 3 kilometers. And they did have their own little machines to go up and down the track. Humorous side note, apparently you could walk up the track, but you had to buy a ticket to walk up the track. Upstairs, an exhibit about telecommunications.
The large screen behind the diorama plays a video about the history of railways in Sweden. As the video plays, different trains will come out and run around the diorama to showcase the various stages of development. At the end, all of the trains will come out and run at once. Note the variety of steam and electric-powered trains, including the modern X2000 high-speed train and the wood-fired steam train from World War II, when coal was scarce. And I have to take a moment to point out this little horse-drawn wagon, if only because the horse's legs actually move. I don't know how they do it, but it just looks cool. Nearby is the locomotion simulator, which uses seats on a movable platform to simulate riding inside an old horse-drawn wagon, an early steam train, and the modern X2000. It's available in both Swedish and English, with subtitles. Moving outside, the museum has a small live steam railway that runs on the weekends in the summer. It makes a simple loop in the fenced area. I was there during the week, so it wasn't operating that day. While the museum building continues onward, this area isn't open to the public. It might be part of the training school. Inside the loop area are several railway artifacts, including wheels, signals, and a track speeder. While not very large, the Yarn-vah-gen's museum is a fun and affordable place to visit if you're in the area, only a short ride from Malmo or Copenhagen. Now then, let's hop back on the train and continue the trip. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next adventure.